All right, chapter 4, section 6, it's called completing the square. This is what you could use if a quadratic does not factor. Also, from the method from yesterday, you could do the quadratic formula. All
right, so to complete the square, the first thing we got to do, we got a quadratic here, x squared plus 6x. The first thing we got to do is we got to take half of the coefficient of x, the b term.
Half of 6 is?
3, there we go. All right, next step says we got to square it. So we're going to square it. So 3 squared is 9. There it is. Then it says to add it to both sides. Good, x squared plus 6x plus 9. Now that thing is factorable.
Factor!
So we factor that thing, and it becomes x plus 3 squared. Now if you notice, what was half of our coefficient of b? It was a 3, okay?
Half of 6,
Half of 6 is 3. Boom, there it is. So when you go to factor, all you got to do is do x plus 3, square it. Half of whatever b is.
All right, moving on. Here's one other example. Actually, here's a few examples of what completing the square looks like. Completing the square looks like.
Yeah, okay, so take 12, cut it in half, gives us what, 6?
6.
Square it, gives us 36. Boom, add it. Then when we factor it, it becomes x plus 6.
Half of 12.
Half of 12. All right.
Albert, what's half of 14?
He said 7. Boom, square it, you get 49. Then you get y plus 7 all squared.
There it is.
Next one. This one's a little different because it's got the negative sign.
Negative.
So take that, cut it in half. You still get negative 5. Square it, positive 25. But in parentheses,
half of negative 10.
Half of negative 10 is negative 5.
Negative 5.
All right. And one last one. Oh, stinking decimals. All right.
I hate fractions.
Half of 5 is 2.5, or 5 over 2. You square 5. You get 25 on top. Square 2, 4. All right. Then in the parentheses is x plus 5 over 2, all squared.
Half of 12, half of 14, half of negative 10, half of 5. That's the key.
There it is. Okay. Now, what we're going to take is we're going to take that and use it to solve these. All right. If it doesn't factor, first thing we got to do is you got to move that constant to the other side. All right. So this one, they added 7 to both sides, got rid of it.
Slide it over.
And then we cut it in half. All right. So we're going to cut negative 4, the b term, in half.
Half of negative 4?
2. Square it, 4. Okay. And that 4 gets added to both sides of the equation. Both sides of the equation. All right.
Plus
now
4 plus 4.
On the right, pretty simple. I'll take care of that one. That's 7 plus 4 is 11.
30?
Yeah.
Yeah. 11. Darn it. Okay. Simplify your trinomial square. So that's right over here. Factor that sucker. What is it? It's x minus 2, the quantity squared. Here's our 11.
Cut the b in half. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. There it is, x minus 2. Now, square root both sides. Square root it.
Okay, square root of x minus 2 squared is x minus 2. Square root of 11 is square root of 11.
And it's plus or minus that. Okay, now, are we done? No. Is x by itself? No. So we take and add 2 to both sides. So we solve it for x. 2 plus or minus the square root of 11.
And that's an acceptable answer, right?
That's good. That's what we want to see. No decimals. We don't want that.
We don't like that stuff.
This is just like what we're doing with the quadratic formula. Leave them in that radical form.
Key word of yesterday, remembering what the name of that expression is underneath the radical. In this case, it's 11. Make sure you know what that's called. What is that? The discriminant.
All right, one more we're going to go through.
I'm going to rifle through this one quickly.
Okay,
so if you want to watch it again, check the wiki.
Add 16. Yep, add 16. Boom, it's over the other side. Take that negative 6, cut it in half.
Half of 6.
Square it is 9. Add it to both sides. All right, now we got something on the left that can factor. It's a perfect square trinomial.
Half of 6?
Yep, negative 3 because it's a negative 6x. All right, square root both sides. Get plus or minus 5. Then we got to add 3 to both sides. All right, then 3 plus 5 will be 8. 3 minus 5, negative 2. Now, PowerPoint that's on there. Open it up, download it, print it off, whatever. It's got a bunch of other examples that you can work through. Make sure you check that out. And printing that one slide with the different, with the steps would be good.
All right. The one we were just on. Bring questions to class.
See ya.